Well, we love featuring artists you should know about. Today, we're heading to Florida to chat with singer, songwriter, and caregiver Catherine Marie. Catherine's based out of Naples, Florida. She was inspired to write music when she was taking care of her husband, who passed away from Alzheimer's. The album is titled Thorns Roses, A Journey of Love and Heartbreak. It's also up for Album of the Year at this year's Josie Music Awards. We're excited to have Catherine Marie from Caregivers Survival on the show. First, Catherine, thanks so much for coming on.
You are so welcome. My pleasure.
Yeah, well, man, there's a video on YouTube called Straight A's for Alzheimer's Caregivers that you did like 7 years ago. So give us a timeline. When did your husband start having Alzheimer's? When were you taking care of him? Let us know.
Oh, my gosh. It was just a crazy journey. I think he was diagnosed in 2010.
Okay.
And he passed 2017, July 4th, 2017. So it's been 7 years, and
Wow.
we're on the anniversary tomorrow. What a journey.
Yeah, that's 7 years. You learned a lot
7 years.
in that journey.
Yes, and my album took 4 years to produce. I didn't release anything other than the I'm Still Here song, which was the featured song from this album, and it was inspired by my husband 1 year after he died. This song floated down into my lap.
Wow.
Before I even started being a songwriter. That's what's so amazing about this, and that's why I continued on this journey. And then I heard the melody after the words just fell into my lap. And I do not sing or play an instrument. I have to be upfront about that. But I do write the lyrics, and I do get a melody, and then I go to my producer, and he listens to it, and he plays it out on the piano, and then we hire all the musicians in. So it's a really all-inclusive project, which I love. There's so many artists that I've worked with.
Yeah, wow. Well, let's go back to 2010. What were you doing at the time when he was diagnosed? Were you a nurse or anything before that?
Okay, I've been in real estate, banking, and healing. I worked in healing, and then I became a certified nurse assistant through my healing practice. So I had some pretty good tools, but it was still quite the journey.
Yeah, I mean, my mother-in-law, it's crazy. She passed away today, a couple years ago, on July 3rd.
Oh, my
from
God.
Alzheimer's, which is crazy when you said that your husband passed away on July 4th. I was like, wow, that's a coincidence. But we were taking care of her, too. And, I mean, if you go to caregiversurvival.com, you can check out her website. She's got a bunch of information on there. But, I mean, it's just a totally different thing when you get into it, when you're taking care of a loved one who is suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia.
There is no words to describe it. So I try to describe it in my songs and my raps, and I do have Straight A's for Caregivers CD, which is a bonus CD in this package, and that's also available on my website. So there's just different tips for caregivers on what to do. As soon as you get the diagnosis, listen to Straight A's for Caregivers. It's amazing. It will help you a lot.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of great tips on there because you're going to need them.
You are going to need them. You cannot. One of my first support meetings I went to, there's a great support group here in Naples, the best, and it's funded by all the people here. And I was sitting in the meeting, and they said 60% of caregivers die before their loved one.
Yeah, I saw that stat. That's incredible.
I think it's higher now from what I've heard. So when I heard that, and I was 14 years younger than my husband, which helped a lot,
yeah,
I said, I am not going down with this disease. You know what I mean? I will be the best caregiver I can, but I'm a survivor, and so here I am.
Yeah, well, and there's videos, and even my mother-in-law, she, like, when music hit, she was like a different person. I mean, it totally sparked her. I mean, she was dancing, she was singing, she was remembering all these songs. I mean, there's some videos on your website, too, where there's a couple gentlemen that are just completely out of it, and then they put headphones on them, and they become a whole new person. So was this with your husband, too?
Yes, absolutely. We love listening to music. And, you know, at the end, towards the end of his life, he had aphasia. He really couldn't put his words together properly. So I would just put music on and just bring him back to life. His favorite song was Shaboom. Oh, Life is But a Dream, 1950. Do you remember that song?
Yeah.
Shaboom, shaboom. La da 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 da. Shaboom. That was his favorite song. Yeah, he would come back to life on that song.
Yeah, it's amazing when you see it happen with somebody, especially someone that you've been taking care of or you've loved for years, and then just brings them back to life. I mean, it's a miracle.
I know it is. It's one major tool that all caregivers should use.
Yeah,
hands down. And who doesn't like listening to music?
Well, exactly, and you get to listen to music at the same time.
Yeah, music is good for the soul.
Well, now, Catherine, your nickname is what? Kaz?
Kaz, yes.
How did this come about?
It's from my maiden name. I was called Kaz since like high school, junior high. Kazlowski.
Oh, okay.
So it's a nice shortened version. I grew up with 7 siblings, and so we got the nickname of Kaz, which was kind of cool.
Huh? That's my last name is Rickett. A lot of people call me Rick, so that's same
oh, that's
thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Jeff
Rickett. So they, for some reason,
Rickett. Oh,
half the people can't remember Jeff, but they call, and even people call me Rick, and it's like that's not my name, but it's weird. I don't know what it is.
Well, our friends give us our nicknames, so it's kind of a cool thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you're young, you always have some kind of nickname. That's for sure. But that's crazy that he passed away. So you weren't even writing music while he was alive.
No, I no. This got the ball rolling, and then I wrote a song about how I met my boyfriend. It's on the album Dream Girl Dream, because it was such a funny story on how we met that we just said, well, we should write a song about how we met. And so I thought it was going to be like a rap, and then by the time I got done, it was like a real song. And somebody close to me who was in music said to me, Catherine, you have enough lyrics in this song for 5 songs. Keep writing. So I did.
Wow. And then your producer, this Julian Sunby, how'd you meet him?
Through Alzheimer's. This is another great story, and I'm telling you, once I did this album, I can't even tell you how many people say my aunt had Alzheimer's, my father. So many people. I draw them to me. I was in the studio recording the narrative, because I can do a narration, right? I'm narrating the straight A for caregiver tips, right? And as I'm in there being recorded, I said to the engineer, I said, I need a piano. I need some piano with this. And he said, oh, I know someone. And in 10 minutes, Julian walks into the studio, and he sits down and starts playing the piano. This guy is a magical music man, and he plays the piano like no other. He knows every song, just goes into the spirit of creating music. He's a minister for a music minister for a Christian church. So he's plugged into the spirit, I'm telling you. So he was the perfect guy to hook up with me. And then he sat down. He said, my grandmother has Alzheimer's, and your tips are helping me out right now.
Wow. Yeah,
I know. Isn't that just so amazing?
It's amazing. We're chatting with Catherine Marie. Go and check her out at caregiverssurvival.com. She's on Facebook, Instagram. The album, Thorns Roses, is also out now, and it's up for Album of the Year at this year's Josie Music Awards. So definitely go and check it out. It's a journey of love and heartbreak. Well, on your website, you say that 50 million people globally estimated have dementia, 10 million new cases every year. I mean, it just keeps growing.
Yes.
What do you think it is? Do you have any? Is it diet? Is it pollution? What's causing this?
Oh, okay. I think it's a lot of things, and that's probably why they're going to have a difficult time with bringing it down to one thing. There is a genetic involved in it. There is a gene that you will most likely get Alzheimer's. And my husband did test for that gene, and he did have it, but not everybody does. And there is a difference between Alzheimer's and dementia. Dementia is the umbrella, as you know, and then there's all different types, Alzheimer's being the number one most common form of dementia. So I do think that our lifestyle has a lot to do with it. I do know that there is a lot of pollution in our food and other places that can have a play. Heavy metals, there's all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I just think, and exercise is very key because that keeps the neurotransmitters connecting. And when my husband was diagnosed, one of his neurologists said, definitely keep the aerobics going. And he was a big jogger anyway, and which is really so pathetic to think that he was an accountant type person, and he kept a chart on how many miles he would run each week. So he could do like 10 miles with his buddy, like 5 times a week.
Wow.
But he still got Alzheimer's. You see what I mean?
And still, it's crazy. I saw something about the gene. Is there anything they can do for that?
Not yet, but eventually they will. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool things that we'll be doing later on. Oh, here's another new thing that I just saw at this neurological research center, I think in Virginia. They are using ultrasound waves, and they are going and directing them into the brain where the amyloids and plaques are. It shows up as a different color, and they actually go in and just shoot it with ultrasound, and the person becomes a little more with it. It's very obvious, and it's only just to kind of manage it as it goes along and not cure it, but what a great progress. Wow.
Yeah, hopefully they keep progressing and something happens here because, it's just the numbers are just unreal.
No, it will bankrupt our healthcare system. They've been saying that for years, so somebody's got to come up with something.
Yeah. What, Wayne, is he the only male singer? Where did you find Wayne?
Oh, Wayne's a very good friend of Julian. Julian Sunby's very well connected with a lot of the industry musicians and whatnot. But so he has a lot of contacts, and he knew Wayne from back in the day. Plus, his partner, they own the studio, the Fort Studio in Fort Myers. They've been best friends for 50 years.
Oh, wow.
I know. So lots of history here, lots of love. There's a lot of love in my album because there's lots of good people on it.
Well, and that segues perfectly. Tide of Love, we played it earlier, and this is a message of needing more love.
Yeah, did you like that song?
Yeah, it's a great song.
Oh, good. Thank you. I love it, too, because we need it right now. Those are the things that I get inspired by. And then I have another song on there. I'm singing about God, and I'm not kidding you. It was like watching the news, and I said, I was so inspired to write that song. It's got a patriotic flair to it, too. And my dad was in the Air Force for 21 years, so I grew up in a military background, so I'm all about being patriotic, too. So anyway, I had to write that song.
Yeah, Tide of Love. And then, is You're My Two, is this going to be a single? What are you doing with this song?
Well, it's on my album, and, I have to figure out how I promote, like, take one song and really promote it in some direction. I haven't gotten that far yet. It's streaming everywhere, so that helps. But I don't know, maybe I do a full-length video. I only have a 1-minute preview video on my website.
Yeah, you can go to the website, caregiversurvival.com, or if you go to YouTube, just like Catherine Marie said, she's got a minute clip, and you can check out all the songs on Thorns and Roses. But can you buy Thorns and Roses everywhere you get music?
Yes, I'm on all the major streaming devices. So
you can go buy it or stream it. And,
buy or stream.
Check it out. Well, and You're My Two, this is a cool song. I love this song. This is a man's journey through life's struggles until he meets the love of his life.
Yes. Don't we all want that? And a lot of people have done that. Actually, I think this song, I had like Blake Shelton and Gwen targeted for this song.
Perfect. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a good song for them?
Yeah, it'd be a great song for him. Because who's the female voice if that's not you?
It's Julian's wife. That's
Oh,
why
wow.
there's so much chemistry in it. Don't you love it? I'm telling you, there's so much magic on this album.
That's crazy how everything has come together. It was meant to be, Catherine.
It was meant to be. Thank you.
I mean,
yes.
That's crazy.
And my husband in heaven.
Exactly.
Sorry, the whole thing
is keeping it
That's
going.
why it's so magical.
And keeping his spirit alive.
Yes, indeed.
So what are you doing for the 4th? What's happening in Naples?
Oh, we have our annual parade. If everybody loves a parade, I do.
Oh, yeah.
And I will probably make my way down there. And my sister's birthday is today, so I'll probably see her tomorrow. She lives in the area, which is nice. Yeah, it'll just be a chill day.
And what's the best way people can contact you? Go to the site? What?
Yes, caregiversurvival.com.
Yeah, go to caregiversurvival.com. I think you go to contact, and there's a thing
email.
there you can fill out.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
email and everything, and get a hold of Catherine Marie. And go and check out the album Thorns and Roses, A Journey of Love and Heartbreak. It is out now, and now you're going to hear You're My Two off of the album. Let's hear it from Caregivers Survival. Catherine Marie, thanks so much for coming on and sharing your story.
You are so welcome, Jeff. Happy 4th.
Yeah, happy 4th to you. Have a safe 4th of July. And here it is, You're My Two. It's Caregivers Survival. It's KIX 96.5.